Time is running out for Ferrari, but Project 677 is ready to hit the track. The 2025 Formula One car will be presented on the 18th of this month in London. It will be a spectacular event, strongly desired by Liberty Media in order to attract the public and generate revenue, which is, in fact, the sole objective of this event, but there will be no unveiling of the cars. All the teams will only showcase their liveries, meaning colors and aerodynamic layout, nothing more. Amidst all this, Ferrari had originally planned to present its new car separately. This was scheduled for the following day, using the social media channels of the most successful team in Formula One history. However, somewhat surprisingly, Ferrari sent out an email in recent days informing key journalists of a last-minute change of plans. According to the official statement, the Maranello team has decided to reveal the shape of the SF25 one day ahead of schedule. This means that on February 18th, through the team's social channels, everyone will be able to access the usual content regarding the new car, essentially rendered images of the 2025 Formula One single-seater. This will be a high-quality, well-crafted digital representation of the car, but not the actual vehicle itself, just computer-generated images based on the real model. It remains to be seen whether Ferrari will reveal the full shape of the car or, as has often been the case in the past, especially with teams like Red Bull and Mercedes, whether certain parts of the car will remain hidden. The following day, Wednesday, February 19th, the SF25 will have its shakedown at the Fiorano circuit during the team's first filming day of the season. The day's schedule is as follows. Ferrari will be allowed to cover a total of 200 kilometers, alternating between its two main drivers, as indicated by the sporting regulations in paragraph 10.4. The historic team will dedicate this first run of the season to the TCC promotional events. Within such a context, it will be quite difficult to gather entirely conclusive feedback. Nevertheless, some important information will still be obtained while awaiting more detailed testing session at the Bahrain International Circuit. One such aspect, as much as possible, will be the validation of the suspension setups tested on dynamic rigs last week. Excitement for the Scuderia is at an all-time high. After all, it could hardly be otherwise in a racing season that, without hiding it, carries immense hopes. The goal remains the same, but this time it may be better supported by the technical capabilities that the 2025 car could and should possess. The SF25 will introduce many innovations, serving as a significant update to its predecessor. The project aims to retain the winning characteristics of the 2024 car while simultaneously improving performance in its weakest areas. Above all, one key focus is to fix traction and ensure it remains consistent in all competitive scenarios, not just on tracks where mechanical balance is designed to support acceleration phases. Ferrari's engineers have made significant efforts in this regard, modifying the car's kinematics, which, it is worth noting, are closely linked to the car's ride heights. The goal is to maintain a stable distance from the reference plane under all driving conditions, ensuring a consistent level of performance regardless of track layout. Additionally, a great deal of time has also been spent on updates. We have seen how crucial a Formula One car's development capability is, especially in this era of wing cars, which, unfortunately, is coming to an end. Making a mistake means losing months and operating in an imperfect context. Performance drops, results don't come, and in the time it takes to recover, the more skilled competitors gain the points that you essentially lose. This is exactly what happened last season when, from the Spanish Grand Prix onward, thanks to the disastrous floor designed under the technical direction of Enrico Cardile, McLaren surged ahead. To win a Constructors' Championship in Formula One, consistency is key. The same applies to the Drivers' Championship. It is clear how crucial technical support is in this regard, a factor that cannot be miscalculated. That is why Ferrari has decided to change its approach to updates. A different, more incisive and faster methodology has been adopted, placing practicality at the center of design. First of all, the Maranello-based team has identified which paths not to take in order to avoid a wrong direction. In these cases, the primary objective is to ensure the car does not lose its optimal operating window. Secondly, there is the matter of the tools used to evolve and correct the car. Some upgrades to facilities defined during the past season will provide significant assistance, considering that the correlation between simulations and real-world track performance is essential. Ferrari has reduced its margin of error, which, while still present as eliminating it entirely in Formula One is impossible, is now more contained, increasing the efficiency rate of updates. Additionally, in the aerodynamic field, Ferrari head of aerodynamics Diego Tondi has introduced a new design philosophy, which has been embraced enthusiastically by the Maranello team's engineers. The same goes for French engineer Loic Serra in the area of chassis and suspension. Ferrari is ready to step up, convinced that it can make the final leap needed to compete at the top against McLaren, Red Bull, and Mercedes. The fire-up has been completed a few days ago, with the first roar of the 06615 power unit, which is the new designation of the engine, and the final details are being refined in preparation for the track. As expected, excitement in Maranello is at its peak for a season that promises a comeback built on solid technical and strategic foundations, combined with a certain collective madness that has been missing for quite some time. Hopefully a good omen in view of the 2025 Formula One campaign, with Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton expected to finally bring the World Championship back to Maranello after almost 2 decades. The final preparations are therefore on the way for Ferrari in terms of defining the last details of the SF25 before the new single-seater hits the track later this month. There will be 3 days in which we will see the new cars on track for the final season of the current regulatory cycle. In 2026, in fact, a new technical revolution will take place, potentially overturning the current hierarchy. For this reason, the upcoming Formula One season will be different from the others. Some teams have decided not to focus too much on 2025 in order to be as prepared as possible for the following year. This will result in an almost non-existent development process over the coming months, also due to the well-known budget cap. According to the latest information reported by various Italian news media outlets, the Ferrari technicians and engineers will intensify work on its 2025 Formula One car until late April, while allocating a third of its 900 wind tunnel hours to the 2026 project, when Formula One cars from 2026 will be significantly lighter and equipped with active aerodynamics, which should particularly enhance overtaking. Specifically, the weight of the cars will be reduced by 30 kilograms, and a special configuration of the front and rear wings, called X-Mode, will be introduced. This system will serve to cancel all attack angles while driving on a straight, while Z-Mode will ensure perfect aerodynamics in corners and braking. The effect produced by these aerodynamic modifications should be similar to that of installing a universal sunroof on a sports car. But for now, let's focus on the present. As previously mentioned, F1 testing at the Bahrain International Circuit in Scuderia will take place from February 26th to 28th, with 2 4-hour sessions per day in which the various drivers will take turns. The sessions will begin at 8 a.m. Central European Standard Time, followed by a 1-hour break, resuming at 1 p.m. and concluding at 5 p.m.